Welcome to Experts United Sustainable Industries. We are proud to bring inspirational leaders, innovators, and experts worldwide to spread the word and harness the growing force for sustainable development. For many years, committed organizations and businesses have worked on protecting the environment and our health. They continue working, respecting our natural resources, making sure that we have Earth suitable to live on, and envisioning a thriving future for all. Our TV show, Experts United Sustainable Industries, is here to expand that awareness. I hope you value the work of the speakers and learn from their experiences. I would like to introduce to you Daisy Gonzalez. She is a Los Angeles native whose family emigrated from Guatemala. Her experience with environmental racism in her predominantly working class Latino hometown of Southgate introduced her to organizing. She has organized for responsible development, union jobs, local hiring, and affordable housing policies in Orange County and New York City. Daisy is currently the organizer director for the Garment Workers Center in Los Angeles. Welcome, Daisy. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I've been with the Garment Worker Center for 3 years, but GWC has actually been around for over 20 years now. And, over my last 3 years, my work has really been focused on, organizing workers and making sure that workers know about their rights and know how to enforce their rights. So one of the things that GWC, does is we hold workshops, we hold monthly membership meetings, but we also support workers with individual wage claims. And through that process, we learned that often the brands are able to escape liability for wage theft that workers face in the factories. And wage theft it's prominent, right? It's happening in an estimated like 85% of factories. So 85% of workers, are not making even the minimum wage, and it's because they're paid by the piece rate.
Next, our guest is the owner and fashion designer for DNA Sustainable Threads, Clementina Martinez-Masarweh. She is here to share her various way of making a difference as a sustainable designer, an environmental justice advocate, and a storyteller for climate justice, promoting diversity and inclusion. In addition to building communities and collaboration, she is the founder of Vida Verde Sustainable Living Festival and is coming up this fall. Hi, Clementina. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Hi, Sandra. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Clementina Martinez-Masarweh. I am the founder of DNA Sustainable Threads. I am calling from Bay Miwok, Lani, which is now known as the San Francisco Bay Area. And I do want to acknowledge my ancestral land of Chichimeca, which is now known as Mexico. So I have been in the industry for more than 20 years. And the first 12 years was in fast fashion. And this is why the SB62 is such an accomplishment, because I, during that time, working in Los Angeles, being a pattern maker, working my way up to being a head fashion designer, I was able to witness, unfortunately, a lot of injustices that continue to happen now. So SB62 is such an amazing accomplishment for everyone, because it shows that we all have the power to make a difference. And collectively, we all can do that. And being a Latina, it is something that goes deep in my heart, because a majority of the workers are women of color. So they definitely can use our support. And I'm so happy that all the efforts that everyone has put together in bringing more awareness and passing this bill has paid off. Being an activist is in my blood. My father marched with Cesar Chavez and was able to get those laws put in place so that the farm workers could have better regulations. It is exciting to collaborate with so many amazing individuals. Recently, I collaborated with Rosina May in New York City for a fashion show that is Impact Fashion New York Fashion Week. and I was able to have a garment there with SB 62 on the pocket and empowerment in the back, which means that we're bringing change to the front and we're leaving everyone feeling empowered. And those proceeds will be going to the Garment Workers Center. And Rosina May was able to make the SB 62 mask. So I'm excited for you all to take a peek and look at it. It is on my Instagram, which is DNA at DNA Sustainable Threads, or DNA Threads, I'm sorry.
The work of many as yourselves, I just so appreciate that. And then I think I have to include myself. It's putting myself aside because I really want to bring all this awareness to people so we can make a difference together. The more the merrier, right?
Absolutely.
Next, we have Kelly Holmes. She is Lakota from the Native American tribe, the Cheyenne River Reservation in South Dakota. She is the founder and editor-in-chief of Native Max magazine, a publication that features Native talent to empower and take pride in Indigenous communities. Kelly is also the founder and CEO of Native Fashion, supporting the next generations of Indigenous fashion talents. Kelly has a message for all of us about the importance of respecting and bringing equality to the Indigenous people of today.
My name is Kelly Holmes. My Lakota name is Wambiel Giawi, which means flies among eagles women in the Lakota language. And I'm an Ikoju Lakota from the Cheyenne River Reservation in South Dakota. I'm currently speaking from the homelands of the Arapaho, Northern Cheyenne, Ute Mountain Ute, Southern Ute, and Ocheti Shakowee nations. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Native Max magazine, which is the first Native fashion magazine. I am also an event planner, content creator, writer, and I am all about fashion. In all of my work, my mission is to create platforms and opportunities for Indigenous people to share their stories with the world. It's important for us as Indigenous people to have these platforms to share our culture and stories as we are contemporary people surviving and thriving today. First and foremost, I think what's needed is full recognition and accountability by the government and its citizens for the destruction and attempted genocide of Indigenous people. Another solution is reparations, because although we are still here and exist, we continue to live with the trauma of the past in our everyday lives. I believe people can learn from our Indigenous knowledge to prevent environmental crises. For example, some of our beliefs is we are one with the earth. In Lakota, we call her Unchimaka, which means Mother Earth. She is the provider for all who live on earth. We treat her with respect, honor, and compassion, which are some of the Lakota virtues we live by. There is no climate justice without tribal sovereignty and Indigenous people. There is no housing justice when Indigenous people are dispossessed from their lands. Our people are left homeless. Justice is our birthright as Indigenous people. The struggle to survive, thrive, and have self-determination is vital for us and needed to have a better, healthier future. Indigenous people make up 5% of the world, but protect more than 80% of biodiversity. I don't think it's fair because Indigenous people who take care of the earth are exploited and mistreated. Though more than 20% of the carbon stored above ground in the world's forests is found in land managed by Indigenous people. Please support Indigenous people. Thank you.
Hearing from you, one that belongs to the Indigenous and also working to give those that would like to express their voices, I think is very powerful and a way of moving the initiatives forward. So same as it is part of the movement of the global movement because there are Indigenous everywhere.
Well, Pila Tonka, many thanks for having me on here and giving me a platform to share my experiences and my knowledge with the world. I definitely appreciate these opportunities because I'm able to, again, share my experiences. And I definitely feel like we can help in many ways. We are able to contribute, our wealth of knowledge as well. So Again, thank you so much. And definitely check out our website, www.nativemaxmagazine.com, to read the magazine and to support our business, an Indigenous woman-owned business.
Wonderful. Okay, Kelly, until we meet again, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me here, Sandra. I'm calling from beautiful Bay Miwok near Halani, which is now known as the San Francisco Bay Area. I do want to acknowledge my ancestral land of Chichen Itza, which is now known as Mexico. I love the topic. I think it's so important to continue to bring awareness to the Indigenous people and what they're doing around the world. They are 5% of the population, and yet they are protectors of 80% of our biodiversity. So we definitely need to become better stewards of our planet and know that we can all make a difference. I am excited to tell everyone that we have an event coming up with Vida Vert Festival, which I'm the founder of, and we will be showing films there, virtually and in person, on Indigenous causes and organizations that are making a difference. So I'm excited for you all to be there and join us because we will be spreading a lot of knowledge and also having a lot of fun, having a lot of music and art and all revolving around sustainability and how we can all do our part. But thank you for having me here, Sandra, and it is such an honor to be amongst you all and knowing that you all are doing such amazing work in bringing more awareness to the Indigenous. Through social media, I think it has brought so many of us together, and especially with the Clubhouse app, I have had the fortune of meeting so many amazing people that are Indigenous leaders around the world. They're elders, some of them are elders, and they just share their wisdom in regards to how we all can become better stewards of our planet. I am definitely very excited and inspired by everyone that I meet. I learned so much, and I encourage everyone else to do the same. If you don't know the land that you're standing on, I would encourage you to go to nativeland.ca or nativeland.org and find out more about the land that you're standing on. And also, it is interesting because everyone has a history and everyone has ancestors, and I think if we listen to those voices, we know what is essential for our planet and how we could all live in harmony and be respectful of cultures and traditions, but be champions and warriors for our planet. So I encourage everyone to please dive a little deeper and find out more about the Indigenous people and find out about yourself. But thank you for having me here, Sandra. And I hope I can continue to give information and inspire others to learn more about themselves as well. Thank you.
It is a pleasure to introduce to you Professor Dr. Bharti Shiver. She has been teaching in the University of Delhi in India for over 17 years. She is a well-known academic and author with over 150 published books. She's also a socio-political analyst and an environmental activist working on extensively writing and mentoring. In addition to being an international speaker, her expertise is extensive, from international relations to the Sustainable Development Goals to climate justice and women's rights. very much related to today's topic on our show, the equal justice as our birthright. So, Professor, thank you for your time and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sandra, for inviting me to share my views on women's rights in your show. And as far as gender equality or issues related to women's human rights are concerned, I think this is something that also binds us. It's across the world. Women's human rights are being violated. Violence against women is very, very common, unfortunately, even now. Moreover, women's reproductive work has always been undervalued. It is not considered a work at all. Another challenge is lack of gender sensitization in administrative machinery. Similarly, even after specific schemes and policies to educate girls and women, we still find that many girls do not have access to education. At the global level, the issue of women's rights has been raised in various organizations, including the United Nations. The 1979 Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women is important in pursuance of women's rights. In 1993, through 73rd and 74th Amendment Acts, rural and urban local governance were revitalized in India, which provided for a minimum one-third reservation for women as members and chairpersons of these institutions. This has enhanced women's participation in the political process. Women are now contributing to local development in terms of capacity building through construction of roads, security for girls, education, water resources, and rainwater harvesting. This learning process enhances their preparedness for decision-making in local democratic affairs in the interest of the community. Hence, in order to ensure protection of gender rights, it is imperative that ground realities are addressed. These issues will not be resolved simply by making laws. We need to provide educational opportunities and a safe working environment to women for them to excel. In addition, child rights education, sensitization of administrative machinery, and better enforcement of laws will go a long way in making women feel secure in society and at home. Here, role of the NGOs, civil society, and media is absolutely crucial. Further, a child's education and perspective to see the world and other human beings start at home. Parents should teach their boys to respect girls and women and see them as equal partners in life. Equal opportunities for women in practice are crucial for progressive and truly democratic global society in a globalized world. So, more power to women out there, to all of us across the globe. Once again, kudos to you, Sandra, for creating awareness on these global issues through your television show. I'll be happy to take this conversation forward and join you in your upcoming shows. You're really doing something very good. I must appreciate your work in terms of creating awareness on these diverse issues.
Thank you so much. Furnished with years of experience and expertise in textiles, she decided to start her own sustainable fashion company. Let's welcome Claire Powers, who is the founder and creative director of KINdom. KINdom is a sustainable and ethical apparel and accessory brand. Claire has a distinguished career in the sustainable fashion industry. Her advocacy to be a voice for the indigenous people's right and to take KINdom to achieve the balance between humans and nature. She says that we are connected, and that is kin. Let's welcome Claire Powers. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Sandra, for this super valuable opportunity. And first of all, I want to thank you for having this platform to amplify all our voices, so that way we can make, you know, the world a better place. I know it sounds so cliche, but we just need more people like you. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. And for those of you watching, my name is Claire Powers. I'm the founder of KINdom. Kin as in related and interconnected, KINdom. And today we're talking about some social and environmental justice and issues in light of the COP26 that's happening the weekend of, or happened the weekend of Halloween. It's been 26 years since COP first started, and a lot of scientific studies have been done in the last 100 or so years about the environment. And it's so important that we've become conscious, or we are conscious of the things we buy and consume. With my brand, I work with a lot of indigenous communities, like this Bagobo hand shibori tie-dyed and hand beaded, and you know, even the pom-poms are handmade, so from recycled fabric. And they are the most marginalized groups in the world today, while comprising about 5 to 6% of a global population of about 8 billion. They take care of 80% of the world's biodiversity. So it's really important that we take care of them and support them, and go to them for knowledge and guidance, and how we can turn this thing around and be more in harmony with not only each other, but with nature, so that way we don't have this record-breaking heat and fires and floods and rains and storms. It's crazy. We need to pay attention to what they've been doing since the beginning of time, so that way our generations, our kids, and our future generations can enjoy, you know, what the earth has to provide.
Our home is our planet. What would you tell people? What actions shall we take?
It's, you know, we've been talking as humanity about, and leaders too, environmentalists and activists, oh, we should do this and we should do that and push this to do that, and but we haven't really done anything, because it takes a collective effort. So first of all, it needs to be a collective effort. A lot of businesses really need to delve down into their business models and business structure, and incorporate sustainability, incorporate people, environment over profits. That's one. The second thing, you know, the second thing is, you know, we, in our individual lives, even our little choices collectively can make a difference. Like my daughter, you know, she loves, you know, her toothpaste with the strawberry in it. And one day we were brushing our teeth, and she goes, oh, mommy, what's that? I said, oh, this is my toothpaste. She's like, yeah, but it's not a toothpaste. I said, yes, it's a tablet. I use the Bite toothpaste because it's zero waste. It comes in a glass jar, you know, and it's not in plastic, and it's in a tablet form, right? More environmentally friendly. And she's like, oh, can I try it? Right. And so when she asked me, like, oh, why do I have a different toothpaste with her? You know, that's empowering the next generation with education about why we should do certain things, so that it doesn't harm other things, or other, you know, like the soil or the atmosphere. She, you know, she's 5, she knows about greenhouse gas, you know. So little things like that going good. There's so many zero waste stores now, between online and check out your neighborhoods for zero waste or refill stores. Instead of going to the market, you walk into Target, or you walk into, you know, Ralph's or any other grocery stores. And if you really consciously go down each aisle, look and be conscious, wow, 90% of this stuff, if not more, is plastic or plastic derived. And as soon as we keep doing that, it's just going to feed fuel to the fire, and the corporations are still going to, keep producing it.
Nevertheless, I think that, bringing all of what you're speaking about and really associating that with environmental justice,
Yes.
because we need to take care of our lands and our oceans, our waters, rivers, lakes, and so on and so forth. Everything's becoming polluted.
Yes.
So thank you so much for bringing your opinions, your views, and thank you for being an amazing designer concerned about the health of people and preserving our lands. Thank you.
Thank you. I get it from the indigenous communities, and we need to learn from them.
Oh,
So,
okay, very good.
thank you very much.